Hey guys, today I just thought I'd do a collection video, just to kick off my channel. I guess it's sort of one of the main staple videos you're supposed to do. I don't have an enormous collection. Hopefully I will be getting a lot more books soon, but I am very happy with the books I have. I think I've got some of the main staples, in comic books, and I have some really nice editions and stories. I am mostly a DC fan. I do like Marvel, but I don't know, the characters, they just aren't as interesting to me, and the events especially, they just feel so much more I don't know, it's like watching a continuous soap opera for the Marvel comics, like all the events and stuff. Whereas DC, I just find all the events just a bit better. I do also like Image and Vertigo. Obviously Vertigo is kind of DC, but Image I do like. I haven't really got much of Image. All I've really read is some of Spawn, and I've read The Walking Dead, the first 3 hardcovers. But hoping to get more of Image, and I have read some Dark Horse as well. Obviously we've got Hellboy, so we'll start there. Yep, Hellboy. These are the first 2 library editions. I'm getting the 3rd one tomorrow, I think. Incredibly nice editions. I won't go into more depth, but I'll probably end up doing a review on these separately. Hellboy, great story. The binding on this is great. It has sort of a really a felt sort of leather texture to it. Just really nice books. That's the first 2. Hoping to get all 6 one day. We've got Sandman, Absolute Sandman Volume 1. Read the first trade of Sandman, because I've watched videos, I've watched hardcover reviews, and Riley Moe, they recommended Sandman, and it sounded interesting to me, so I got the first trade, read it, absolutely loved it, was hooked from the very first issue, and I blew through that in a couple of days, went straight on, when I decided to, if I was going to read the series, I was going to go all out, and I got the absolutely loving it. Binding, perfect, it's a beautiful book. Again, I will go into more depth of this. Yeah, it's the art case. The actual book isn't in there at the moment, it's in my reading pile. Absolute Blackest Night. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, and the Blackest Night event is going to be collected in the Green Lantern Omnibus Volume 2, but there's no way I'm going to sell this Absolute. It's just such a nice edition, and I'll probably end up double dipping and get the Omnibus as well. But some of Jeff Johns' greatest work in Blackest Night, definitely one of the highlights of the Green Lantern series. Amazing book. We have Absolute Final Crisis. Not a huge fan of that. I only really got it because it's part of Grant Morrison's run. The art is really nice, to be fair. And I did get it quite cheap. I got it for about £40, which is what, $50, $55, $60, whatever. So that's not too bad, especially for British prices, because like I said in my Flash video, I can't really use in stock trades, because it's just like regular price anyway when you add on shipping. But yeah, Final Crisis. It was an okay event. Nothing special. It was a little bit too convoluted and overly complicated for me. Dark Side on the front. I'm not saying I'm stupid. I did understand the narrative. For the most part, it's just all the aspects and how Grant Morrison writes. It just seemed like he was overcomplicating things. But it did bring Barry Allen back, which was always a plus. Absolute Batman and Robin. As I say, I'm going through the Grant Morrison run, and I've read all of it now, apart from Batman Incorporated. Batman and Robin, Absolute Batman and Robin. Again, beautiful book. The book isn't in here. I just finished reading it, so it's still out of its case. Really nice book, great stories, very different from the rest of his run. As I was saying, with The Walking Dead, I am a huge fan of the show, and the comic is definitely not a letdown. It's amazing, and there's at least maybe 12 hardcovers out at the moment, so I'm going to keep buying those. I'm really enjoying the story. Each one of them, it's pretty much the same. You've got Walking Dead, and you have zombies at the top. All the spines match, the numbers, match as well. It's different colours. It's pretty nice. Killing Joke. I'm not really one of those people who goes by because I started off reading Batman primarily as graphic novels, You know, and I watch videos, people saying like, oh, you need Dark Knight Returns, you need Year One, you need Hush, you need Long Halloween, you know, all that stuff. I don't really follow like must-have stories. I'm not saying I won't read them, I definitely will. I have read Long Halloween and Hush, but I haven't actually read Dark Knight Returns or Year One yet. Just because I prefer to read books, you know, in nice hardcover editions, and, you know, I can't really get my hands on a hardcover edition for Year One or Dark Knight Returns at the moment. And I'm in no rush to read them, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure they're amazing. Frank Miller's definitely an amazing writer, but I'm in no rush to read them. I'm pretty happy with what I've read of Batman, and I know they're going to be good. So yeah, I'll just leave them on the back bench until a time where I decide I want to know more about Frank Miller's work on Batman, I guess. But we have one that is highly recommended for Batman, and I still have to recommend it. I mean, it is an amazing book. You know, one of my favourites I've even got. Killing Joke by Alan Moore. Amazing Joker story. There's not really much more I can say about that. Brian Bolland is an amazing artist. We've got Flash Omnibus. Not much I can say about that. I just did a review on that one. The second one is on my reading pile. And then we have Green Lantern, Volume 1 by Jeff Johns. I'm going to get all of these. I have read everything that's included in this omnibus, but, you know, I'd definitely trade up to the omnibus. It's a really nice edition. The binding's not quite as good as you get on JSA, but still very nice. I'll show you the cover here. Got the nice Alex Ross cover on here. And so we've got JSA. First two omnibuses, the third one's coming out in July. And, you know, it's an older series, but it's like Jeff Johns, obviously, so, you know, it's going to be good. And it really is. You know, it's in place it's a little bit more light-hearted. But the art is nice, the stories are amazing, sort of, you know, really original ideas in many places. You know, obviously, one of the places where Jeff Johns started, you know. But, you know, it's a very nice run. A lot of different characters that, you know, you probably wouldn't have had a lot of background on otherwise. You know, I really enjoy the run. Can't wait for the third one to come out. Show the second one as well, I guess. Very nice, chunky books here. And next we have Y the Last Man. I got the first two hardcovers. I was going to start reading the series with the first one, then I realised the second one was out of print, or going out of print at least when I bought it. So I snapped that up quickly. Now it's quite difficult to find, I think. The 3, 4 and 5 are still quite easy to find, so I'm going to hold off on them until I actually start reading the series. But yeah, like I say, I haven't read them yet. They're just sitting on my shelf waiting to be read, and one day I will. I'm sure I'll love it. But, you know, for now. Here's the front. Brian K. Vaughan. I haven't even read Saga yet. I know, like, the oversized hardcover's out now, so I'm going to pick that up soon. I don't have a lot of New 52s. I did have quite a lot more than this, but I sold some off. Some were just in trade, so they're just, like, in my cupboard. But yeah, I wasn't an enormous fan of the New 52. Everything I've read of it, I mostly liked, but I mean, I can't really explain it. I suppose maybe it's just the format, like the hardcover format, I guess, I don't know, I'm not sure. But it's that Aquaman, an amazing story. Still haven't got the second one, or the rest of the series even, I just haven't got round to it yet. You know, an amazing story. Ivan Reis's art is amazing. Obviously, Jeff Johns again. If you haven't read Aquaman, whatever opinions you have of him, you know, without much background information, definitely read Volume 1 of the New 52. That'll change your mind completely. Batgirl, really love this series. Gail Simone is an amazing writer. She really, you know, changed the way I look at Batgirl. I mean, you know, her story is almost as exciting as Batman's is for New 52, and Batman by Scott Snyder is ridiculously good. So, you know, that's a very high compliment, I guess. Gail Simone, great run. I'm really sad her run ended. I still need to pick up 4 and 5. And we have Batman Zero, yeah, Secret City. I have read Court of Owls, Night of Owls, City of Owls. Death of the Family. You can see I've got the Joker companion there. But I sold Court, Knight, and City of Owls because I know there's an absolute edition of Court of Owls coming out, and I know Night of Owls isn't included in there, but yeah, I didn't really see the point of having the companion anyway, as I'm gonna probably end up picking up all the individual Bat series for the New 52 eventually, probably just in trade though. But yeah, and then Death of the Family, my dust jacket ripped for it, so I just took it off my shelf because, you know, so I've sort of got mild OCD when it comes to these sort of things. If everything's not matching, I sort of freak out. So anyway, 0 Year Volume 1. I haven't got the second one yet, but you know, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, you know, he's an amazing artist. Scott Snyder's an amazing writer. He's just a perfect team for Batman, and I can't wait for Endgame to come out especially. Really love their Joker. And we've got Batman and Robin. Again, not read these. They were going out of print. Well, the first one did especially. I think that's really difficult to find now. So I snapped them both up for $10 each. Really great investment, even if I don't read them. But I'm pretty sure I will get around to them at some point. Maybe when I've finished Batman Incorporated by Grant Morrison. And like I say, we've got the Joker, Death of the Family Companion. And here we have Jeff Johns' Barry Allen Flash run. We've got Rebirth. That's after he got brought back in Final Crisis. Deathly Death of the Rogues. Road to Flashpoint and Flashpoint. 4 really, really nice hardcovers, I have to say. They're all like nice underneath. Like, they're not just like the casual black in print. They all have like lightning bolts or a picture, like gold on them. You know, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Really, really great story. I really do like Scott Collins' art. Road to Flashpoint. You'll learn a bit of background about Eobard Thawne in here. It's really nice to know, especially if you watch the show. And then Flashpoint. I think the show will get around to this at some point. Maybe just a dumbed down version where Barry will end up changing the past, and Caitlin will end up becoming her criminal, a character from the comics, Killer Frost. I've just got Brightest Day. I have, like, this is my Green Lantern run. I do have the rest of it in trade. Obviously I have the first omnibus, but everything between the first omnibus and Blackest Night I have in trade. But yeah, Brightest Day. I really enjoyed this event actually. Obviously not as good as Blackest Night, but you know, I think it had a really good story going for it, and it introduced me to a lot of new characters, primarily Deadman. Thought it was really interesting, so I might have to read some Justice League Dark or something to get into his character more in the future. Green Lantern Brightest Day, carrying on Jeff Johns' amazing run, top notch, it's amazing. Sinestro and the Revenge of the Black Hand, New 52, Green Lantern. I bought these before I started, you know, with Rebirth, because, you know, I was just getting into comics, I suppose, and New 52 was, you know, what was really then at the time, so I just kind of picked those up. I read the first one, I understood it pretty much. Like, obviously there were some glaring points which I would have needed context on from previous volumes, and having found out that he had an amazing run when I started watching other YouTubers, I just left Revenge of the Black Hand here and, you know, carried on. Also started with Rebirth, and I need to get War of the Green Lanterns, and then I can finally start reading Jeff Johns' New 52 Green Lantern run. We have Green Lantern Corps. Like I say, I had all these in trade. I have sold a few of them off now, like primarily the ones that were in the Volume 1 omnibus, and the others I have in trade. But Emerald Eclipse, and the Blackest Night tie-ins. It's the only Blackest Night tie-in book I have. I didn't really want to overcrowd myself with having to switch between different books of Blackest Night, you know, just to get the story in the right order. Then we have Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns and the Weaponer. These are the Brightest Day tie-ins. These are alright. They're not by, what was the other guy's name? Peter J. Tomasi, yeah. They're not by Peter J. Tomasi. So that's a bit of a change. I thought he's the perfect guy to write the core. I know he did come back for the New 52 run, but this is a bit of a break he went on, I guess. But still, excellent stories. And Emerald Warriors, just sort of stories about Guy Gardner and he's dealing with Atrocitus, and he's going around with Kilowog, and I forgot her name. She has a white costume. She has a white Green Lantern costume. Then we have Superman, Earth 1, Volumes 1 and 2. Not a huge fan of these stories. Everyone was raving, saying J. Michael Straczynski revolutionised Superman's origin. You know, he created a really good story. It was okay at best for me. You know, I don't really care about Superman. I thought this would be a good place to get, you know, sort of engaged with his character, but it really wasn't, and it's not for me, I guess. I can see why people would like it, but, you know, I am going to try out the Batman Earth 1 ones, because I really love Batman, and Jeff Johns, obviously. I have faith in him in anything he writes, so, you know, Superman What Price tomorrow. Don't care, got this really cheap, you know, just trying to get into Superman again. I read the first couple of issues, didn't get engaged at all, now it just sits on my shelf. I haven't even finished it. I don't plan to continue with the run. Captain America Lives Omnibus. I have got the first trades. I don't have the first omnibus though. I have Winter Soldier, Red Menace, and Death of Captain America all in trade. And then I went on to this omnibus. I need to get Trial of Captain America and Return of the Winter Soldier omnibus too. I just don't really have the money. Civil War. The first Marvel stories I read, which might seem like a bad idea, but you know, I've watched the cartoons when I was little, I've watched the films, played the games, you know, I do have background on most of the characters involved in here, and although I did miss out on probably some glaring story points because I don't have context from previous events and stuff, I really did enjoy the Civil War event, and I'm very glad to have these 3 hardcovers, because I know that, like, the Civil War hardcovers are out of print now, and they go for ridiculous prices, so to have even, like, only 3 of them is still really nice. Finally, on my hardcovers, we have Best of Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski. And, sorry about that. And, amazing stories. Really, really great. Definitely the place to get into Spider-Man. Never really liked his character beforehand, but I never really felt compelled to read about him. And, you know, J. Michael Straczynski did a really good job of introducing the character. Cover there. So now I'll move over to some of my trades and show you some of them. And yep, these are just some of my trades. We have the first volume of Justice League Dark, which I still need to get into. Batman the Long Halloween, focus here. This is just a cupboard full of crap I have. I don't really have anywhere to put the trades, I've run out of space on my shelf. See Justice League Dark, Batman the Long Halloween, like I say, really great story there. I'd want to get the Absolute at some point, but I don't have the money. Batman and Son, Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, R.I.P., Time and the Batman, Return of Bruce Wayne. You know, Grant Morrison's run, obviously I have the Final Crisis and Batman and Robin Absolutes to go with them. It's just like some old Iron Man Lego set. And we have Ion, Torchbearer and Dying Flame. I went all out with Green Lantern. I got everything I could find to do with the character. These 2 trades are really difficult to get. They focus around Kyle Rayner and, you know, what he's doing before the Sinestro Corps War, and I really did enjoy the trades, actually. A lot of they got mixed reviews, but I really did enjoy them. Maybe it's just kind of the fact that I have them and them being so rare that I decided to enjoy them so much, but I really did like the story for the most part. Like I say, we have Rage of the Red Lantern, Secret Origin, Agent Orange, you know, all the stuff between the first omnibus and Blackest Night. Really great stuff. Green Lantern Corps, I did have Recharge and Dark Side of Green or whatever. And I sold both of those because Dark Side of Green is quite rare, and Recharge obviously is collected in the first omnibus, so got rid of those 2. And these 3 I'm just going to hang on to for a while, I guess. I don't know if they're going to be collected in any hardcovers anytime soon. I doubt it, so I'm just going to keep them here. And then moving over here, Sandman, first trade, as I said, loved it, so I went on and bought the Absolute. Transmetropolitan, I only read the first issue, it was alright. I think I need to really engage myself in the story more. It's kind of just bored, I guess. I was really bored when I went to read Transmetropolitan, so I guess I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of stuff happening. Batman Hush, brilliant story by Jeff Loeb, artist Jim Lee. amazing combination. It's one of the first Batman graphic novels I read. I was hooked, thought it was great. Time of the Batman, Son of Bruce Wayne, obviously you've just got Grant Morrison's run. Batman Black Mirror, Scott Snyder's first dip in with Batman, I guess. On Detective Comics, amazing, great story. I really need to get the hardcover of this at some point. Love it to bits. Shock's artwork is really nice too. And then, let's see if I can get this back in here. Daredevil, Man Without Fear. I bought this after watching the TV show. I really did like the TV show. I don't love it as much as everyone else does. I think it is really good, but I don't think it's like better than Flash and Arrow. I think it's on par, with DC's TV shows. Although I know many people would disagree, but great story. Definitely the place to start when reading Daredevil. I do want to get Frank Miller's Omnibus at some point, but that keeps going up and down in price. It's my only singles. I have a couple of the Arkham Unhinged. I got these way before I started getting graphic novels. I just got them to go alongside when I played the Arkham City game. And then final books, we have Uncanny X-Force, Volume 1 and 2. Obviously, great story. I wanted to get the omnibus, went out of print. Oh wait, I actually have some more down here. Got these are just double dips of Green Lantern, which I need to sell off. I have sold Revenge of the Green Lanterns and Wanted Hal Jordan. I need to get rid of these four. Batman the Dark Knight Volume 1 was really enjoyed that trade, that hardcover even, and it's out of print now, so I think at least it's worth something. I don't know if I'm going to get any more. Death of the Family, like I said, lost the dust jacket, so I just keep it here. It really annoys me. Justice League Origin, nothing special. Jeff Johns, still the writing was okay. Art was great by Jim Lee. It felt like it was rushed. A rushed sort of origin of the Justice League. And down here, obviously, we have the Captain America trades for the first stories of Brubaker's run. Like I said, the omnibus are completely out of print. There's no way I can get them for a decent price, so just have to stick with those for now. And yep, that's about it. Here are the absolutes: Batman and Robin and Sandman. But yeah, that's it for my collection. Hope you enjoyed the video. Kind of a long one. Hope you stayed interested. But like I say, collection's not that big. Hoping it will improve, and I'll do a new one later on in the year or towards the end of the year, whatever. Hopefully, I'll have a nicer, bigger collection. But I appreciate any support, likes, comments, subscriptions. But yeah, thanks for watching.